Hi everybody, welcome to a very special episode of Eat It Anyway. As you can see, we're not in my kitchen because we're on location. We're at Pickles' house.
Yeah.
And what are we gonna make today, guys? What do we got?
We're gonna make Italian meatballs with sauce. And it's kind of like a gravy because it's gonna be a meat sauce.
Meat sauce. So not only do we have ground beef for our meatballs, but we also got some sausage for our meat sauce.
Yeah, meat sauce.
There it is, sweet sausage. Josh is cutting the onion.
Josh is cutting an onion. The ground beef, I call it chopped meat. The ground beef is a little frozen, so we're gonna hold off on that.
Okay.
But we're gonna start with the sausage. So you wanna put a little oil in the pan.
Okay.
Because you're gonna brown the sausage. So just like, I kind of just do like a spin around.
Okay.
Give them a little poke.
Give them a little poke so that they don't explode.
Do this if you're roasting sausage too. Like if you're gonna make sausage peppers in the oven, you want to poke little holes in them because, or even if you're barbecuing, because it tends to, and you let it lets the fat out.
Gotcha.
So
Let them drain a little bit, right?
yeah, let it drain a little bit, right? Exactly.
Just place them in the oil. How hot are you cooking these?
I have it on high right now because I want it to. It's not hot enough.
Okay.
It's not a gas stove, so it's not instant on.
Gotcha.
You gotta wait for it to warm up. So we'll do it a little bit lower, but I just want to get the heat up there. And basically, you want to brown them. You don't want to cook them fully through. They're gonna cook in the sauce, but you want to get them a good brown on the outside.
Okay. Hey Josh, how are these onions coming?
This is so good.
They're fine.
Yeah, are you using your special technique to make sure you don't cry?
I am.
Tell me about it.
Well, you can see my eyes are dry.
Good. So whenever they're brown on both sides, that's when it's time to...
Yeah, you can brown them a little more though. Like you want to, I'll let you. You want to get most of the pink gone.
All right, so we're making the sausage transfer.
I'm not going to add more oil because it's definitely enough for the onions.
Yeah, let me see.
So it's like I guess about a quarter of a cup.
Okay, it's not bad. Just enough to wet our whistle, right?
Well, yeah, because you want to saute the onions now. So let's put them in.
Oh, listen to that.
And this you're going to want to lower because you don't want to burn them. You want to make them where they're, basically caramelized. So you always got to go low and slow so they're caramelized. And then Josh is going to cut up some garlic. And we'll put that in there too. And then you're going to start really smelling the smells because garlic and onion are the best. Gotcha. I think I might brown these a little more because I'm going to need it hot anyway for the meatballs.
Okay.
I just feel like they didn't brown as much as I would like them to.
Gotcha.
So you want them really nice and brown because sausage, first of all, it gives it more flavor for the sauce, and then also sausage, you want to make sure it's cooked.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it will cook in the sauce, but like the whole purpose is to try to get it a good cook on there. Meat sauce. We'll make a braciole, which is like a flank steak with breadcrumbs and hard-boiled eggs and everything, but we're not doing that today. And then a lot of times my cousin will put spare rib in there, a little bit of rib. You can put chunks of beef in the sauce. Just to, when it's cooking in the sauce, it gets to the point where the meat like falls off the rib and the chunk of beef is like shredded. It's like incredible. So that's what gives your sauce all that flavor. But the meatballs do it too, so it'll be yummy.
I can't wait. Hi Pickles, what are you up to?
Hi, so we're a little bit frozen over here, so we're just kind of trying to break up the meat to make it defrost a little faster so that we can make the meatballs.
All right, good work. All right, so now it's time to cut the garlic. How many cloves are you gonna use?
About a half of a head.
Okay.
Maybe a little more. When you're cooking the sauce too, you want to make sure you cook the onion first.
Okay.
Fully caramelize it, and then put the garlic in because the garlic will burn. And then once garlic burns, it's no good. It doesn't taste good. It gets bitter, and it ruins the dish. So you always want to make sure you put the onion in first, let that cook down, and then you do your garlic.
Cool. How long roughly do you do it for?
The onion until you really see it translucent. So we have it on very low because you don't want it to burn. So it's got a ways to go yet. You want it to be pretty clear, and there's still some like opaque pieces in here. There's a little skin in there too. Oopsies. Joshua! Little skin. We can get that out. What I do is let me just take one.
Okay.
And then I hold it with my thumb so that you're basically, it's too thick. And you have to go slow because you won't be able to do it if you're
I
going
see.
fast. But I hold it basically like, and then I just keep moving my thumb back because you don't want to cut your thumb.
So you use your thumb as like a guide.
Yeah, and then when you get to the end, I'll show you what I do with my thumb because you don't want to chop your thumb off. Yeah. A little sharper knife would be better.
Or
Some people use a mandolin too to cut garlic, or like a garlic like a cheese grater, which is an idea, but you just got to watch your finger.
I was gonna go at the saw again because I know that
To
it's
make
not,
it-
not super thin.
Yeah. Oh, do you mean like to make it like
To chop it up.
that?
Yeah.
Cool. Slow and steady wins the race, right?
Yeah. I mean, you don't want to burn them, that's for sure. They get caramelized and then they're sweet because these yellow onions will be sweet. I always buy like the sweet ones too. I don't know if you bought the sweet one or if it's just a yellow onion, but most of the times I'll buy the Vidalia, which is like a sweet onion.
Okay.
It gives but all onions, if you caramelize, gives off the sweetness, and that's what you want.
Yeah, I think this is a yellow onion.
Yeah, but it still gives off that sweetness. See how it's good. See, there's still some pieces that are a little hard. See that one?
Yep.
But they were a little bigger. Josh didn't cut them uniform. We'll have to take some points off for that. There's a couple of big pieces in there.
We need to give him a little razor blade.
It's okay. How are we doing with that?
Here, did you learn your lesson? Look, he's got the technique down. He's using his
Looking
thumb.
good. See how you got it? Oh, good job. You don't cut yourself.
Careful. Pickles, how you doing
Much
over there?
thinner though. See that? That's how you do. In Goodfellas they use a razor blade. But
We're putting
we're gonna
garlic
put some
in
garlic
sauce.
in the sauce. So we have a lot. It's probably almost a whole head. And then we're gonna save the rest for the meatballs. But we want to put a lot of garlic in because it's what makes it yummy.
You bet. Cool. So we chopped up roughly a head.
A whole head, yeah, a whole
Yeah.
head, and then we put
Is that about half or
2/3,
two-thirds? Yeah.
2/3, and then a third. Well, we should do the egg first. So we won't put the egg in yet. And you always, as I said, you always want to make sure you put your garlic in later because it just would burn.
Yeah.
With the amount of time
You
you
don't want
have.
that bitterness. What are you guys doing over here? Caught him. Pickles told me to make sure that I show my apron. This is a big shout out to Jenny, Dave, Addie, and Spencer who got me this for my birthday. It says, eat it anyway. Okay, so talking about the meat, what do we
So the
got here?
meatballs, so we have almost 2 pounds of meat. So usually it's like, you can put as many eggs as you want, but like usually we do 2 eggs per pound. So we're gonna do 4 eggs, and then you put the breadcrumb in. I have a little bit of fixed breadcrumb from last week when we made chicken parm. We'll have to redo that because we didn't video it. But so I have some fixed breadcrumb, which I buy the plain breadcrumb and I put parsley in it and I put garlic in it. Sometimes if I don't have garlic cut up, I'll put garlic powder, salt, pepper, a lot of the locatelli cheese, which is like Romano cheese, and that goes in there. And then we fry them up, and we can taste them, and then we can put them in the sauce. But my dad used to love to eat them just like right after, like before they even made it into the sauce.
Yeah.
Because it's just like it's almost like, I guess a hamburger, but like
In bowl form.
Right,
bowl
yeah.
form and much softer inside because of the eggs and the breadcrumb. A lot of flavor. Yeah.
Cool.
Good job, Josh. You're doing a good job.
Thanks.
All right, let's see how this garlic looks.
Let's check it out.
Okay. It needs another minute.
Looks nice and gravy.
You want to make it more translucent. It's not there yet. Let's see how nice our onions look.
Oh yeah.
Nice and cooked. Yeah, so that's got just a little more.
All right, so now that the garlic and the onion are cooking, the sausages are done. Now we're gonna do what? Tomatoes and tomato paste?
Once you get your onion and garlic, you're gonna put your paste in.
Okay.
So it's just a regular can of tomato paste. Some people buy the tomato paste in the tube too. I kind of like that one too.
Oh, so you can just squeeze it all out.
That's usually the refrigerated section. And then you can even put it like anytime you want to add just a little tomato, you just squeeze out a little dab of it. And it's really
a good idea.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is just a 6-ounce can.
Yeah. Kind of stream it out, and then we'll pour a little water or wine in here to get the rest out. Like people think, oh, I can just put a cheap wine in, but then it's going to taste like a cheap wine. So you got to put a good wine bottle, but not the best bottle, obviously.
So like your mediumest bottle.
Your mediumest bottle.
Cool. And so Nicole's doing that. How much? Roughly a cup?
1 cup.
All right, and this is going to be like the base of our sauce, more or less, right?
Yeah, well, that and the paste.
Okay.
Okay, so now
Here comes our cup of wine.
don't put it in yet.
Hello.
So basically, you want to swirl around the tomato paste, and it kind of like gets all the onion and everything that was maybe stuck. Go ahead.
For your wine.
And you want to dissolve the tomato paste in that, and it makes almost like a roux, the base of your sauce.
Ooh.
Now, if you get me a cup of water. See how it like smoothed out how before it was like kind of like I don't know, not smooth, and now it's smooth.
Right. It was kind of clumpy.
Yeah. And you let that cook for a second.
Okay.
And we're gonna get some water on. Don't put the water in yet. So, because there's still some residue in here, we're gonna
Use the water to get all the good stuff out.
and then we'll just put this in here. What the paste does is it's concentrated tomato, so it just gives your sauce like a nice richness. Otherwise, sometimes your sauce become thin. It usually doesn't when you put all the meat in it, but it just gives you that little bit of richness. So that's what we're doing.
How you coming mixing it over there? It's kind of tricky, huh?
It is a little tricky.
It's such a tight area. Got it?
Yeah, it's a tight area. To buy any brand. I mean, I usually like the I'll buy like the Tuturosa or the. Some people are diehard, like they have to be. What are those tomatoes called, Nicole?
San Marzano.
San Marzano. Thank you.
That's the kind of
Do you remember
tomato?
that?
He was typing it in. He was
Yeah.
typing it in when I was like,
That's the case. So when you look at the Tuturosa, I think, or San Marzano, and the Sensi or San Marzano, it's a section of Italy that's supposedly like people say those are the best to make sauce with, but it doesn't matter. But you want to break it up with your hands
Okay.
into the pot.
Cool. Here we go.
Cool.
Ready?
Here, put these over
You
here.
want to take a can? I'll do a can.
Sure.
Teamwork.
We'll do one at a time because I don't think you're gonna be able to get into the pot. Here, you know what? Put this one here. Okay, go ahead. There you go. Sorry.
Alright, so I'm just going to
You're
take
gonna
them
get
out.
that tomato out. Yep.
I'm
You're
just
just
going to
gonna
crush
crush
it
it.
up like that.
Yeah, break it into. Don't put it in there big like that. You gotta make it smaller.
Smaller.
So you're gonna crush it. If you have to, if you
Yeah, I
use
can
two
hold the
hands.
can. Yeah.
Two hands?
2 hands. So, see, yeah. So do it into the pot. Okay. That's an example. It's okay.
Even smaller like that?
Yeah, just as small as you can get it. It'll break up in the sauce too. But
Okay.
let me get this here.
How about I hand them to you?
Sure.
There we go.
Alright. I'm just going to kind of break them up real small.
Yeah, I mean, basically hand
It's the
crush.
whole one.
Yeah. I think they're all whole. I think.
No, but
You,
some of
you
them are
could,
like
you could do
a
it.
little
Here,
more
let me
broken.
show you. I'll show you.
Get in
the
here, get in here.
It's okay. You can keep doing that one.
Okay.
And it's always gonna be a little tougher towards the end because that's the stem. But it all goes in there. So
Okay.
give me. Oh, that's not
I'm
a whole
gonna
one.
give them the big
No, I need the whole one. I want to show them what to do. Give it to me, please. So basically, it's gonna squirt. That's why you want to make sure
Right.
you're in the pot. And then once you get it, you don't have to like just the two
like
hands.
mash it with
Just
your
do this, and then you break it up. It doesn't have to be totally tiny. It's gonna break up in the sauce, and that's it.
Okay.
And then you gotta get all the sauce off. It's probably one person should do it because it gets all over your hands, and then it's a waste.
I'll try.
You're doing good, Jeremy. You want to raise this now high.
Okay.
Get it to boil. And once it's boiling, we can put the sausage in. They've been just kind of sitting there simmering.
Okay. And just to recap, we put 2 more cups of water in, right?
Yeah. So in total, we did 3 cups of water and a cup of wine. So 4 cups of liquid.
Okay.
Yeah. I judge it based on how thick it looks, and to me, it looks too thick. So now this is
Small
good
water,
because it's
yeah.
got to cook. Yeah, because the water it allows the tomato to cook. If it's too thick, then it can't condense, and it's going to be too thick then because it's going to condense because we're going to cook it for a couple of hours, like probably 2 to 3 hours.
We're seeing jelly beans here.
I have a little. It's my Italian seasoning, but it's a blend of garlic and Italian herbs. So there's like marjoram, onion, rosemary, oregano, thyme.
Okay.
Just throw a little of that in there.
So this is on high still? And we're gonna
Yeah,
cook it
until
for...
we can get it to boil, then we'll simmer it.
Ah, okay. Yeah, what? What are you guys doing? What are you doing with those ears over there?
Okay.
So the sauce is boiling, so now what?
Gotta put the
Sausage.
sausage in, so they all go in there. And then it's gonna be like, it's like a little bath for it. So it's gonna just cook in
And
the
so
bath.
they're gonna stay in there for a few hours too?
Yeah, that stays for a few hours. Everything, the sauce cooks with the meat in it. for a few hours, and it thickens up. But right now it's a little thinner.
Yeah.
But it'll thicken up. So we lowered it. We go medium for now. So
Have it on medium?
yeah, we're gonna go lower.
All right.
I'm gonna just cover the bottom. I'm not gonna deep fry them, but you need enough for them to cook. So like that's about a layer on the bottom,
Okay.
and otherwise they'll burn.
Yeah.
And right now I have that on low because we don't have the meatballs made yet. So I'm just gonna kind of leave it like that. And this is boiling. So now I wanted you to see the boil.
Yeah.
So now the meat is in there. So we're gonna lower that.
Meatball time.
Eggs in. Three. 4. Oh, was that a shell?
Yeah.
Here's just a glare.
I'll get it. No, it was
Oh, it was a shell?
Now,
a little piece. That's
they
fine.
say sometimes. Okay.
It's good luck, right?
No, I was gonna say they say you use the shell to get it.
Oh, I've heard that too, yeah.
Joins the shell. But so what I do, just because so that you're not like sticking your hands in the egg, is you can do this.
You do that.
Here, throw that up. So just break it up. So then we're gonna put
pieces
fresh
instead of-
garlic that Josh chopped up so nicely.
It's like a third of, yeah.
Like a third of a.
Okay.
I like a lot of garlic.
Me too.
No one here disagrees with you.
So I do that. I do garlic powder too, just to give it an extra little oomph.
Yep. And we got some
Very
breadcrumbs
nice.
over here, right?
Okay, so do that.
Mix this.
You can mix that in.
Garlic powder is next.
Oh, what? Get that fork.
Uh-oh.
A little. That's not really a little, but that's what I do. Okay. And then you're gonna do a little pepper, black pepper.
Okay.
You kind of just judge. That's enough. And
This is why we didn't do nutrition facts.
a little salt.
fine.
So, and this is pink Himalayan salt, so it's nice and
There's-
got nice
That's the whole
minerals
point
in
of a
it.
cheat meal, right?
And that's it. Okay.
She never measures anything.
Just judge.
Just kind of eyeball it.
Judge your eyeballs.
Your eyeballs
Parsley.
are always a little bit large.
Parsley.
Okay.
Okay. And then we have some breadcrumb that we had left over, so we're gonna dump that in there. I don't have to do that.
And that was kind of all the same
This
stuff,
might
right?
actually be enough.
Right.
Oh, maybe that's too much, but okay. We shall see.
It's too late now, right?
I'm gonna get some more cheese.
Parmesan
Maybe
cheese?
like chill on that.
Look, Telly.
Look at that, pickles. It's coming together.
Who's this singing? I love her voice. I don't know who that is.
Sorry, I'm kind of all up in your biz.
Oh, you're fine.
So you're kind of dancing anyway, right? Look at him go.
Okay.
We have fun here.
Here's the thing. If ever by chance you put in too much breadcrumb,
Uh-huh.
the solution is to throw another egg in. It's not. You're never going to be in a situation
Oh,
where,
I
oh my
see.
God, what do I do? So I'm going to see how it feels. It's got to feel the right consistency.
Okay. So that would bind it together better, right?
Well,
what you're
it
saying?
wouldn't maybe just loosen it up a little, because if you put too much breadcrumb,
Uh-huh.
then
The
you're
breadcrumb
creating-
is what binds it.
the breadcrumb
Too much.
is-
Oh,
Does that make sense?
so it'd be too
'Cause
dense.
It's like, yes.
So the egg
Okay.
loosens it up again.
Just breadcrumb on
And the
top.
reason you gotta do this is you gotta get, so I just do it like you go from the bottom up over the top to get it all in there. And you want it to feel loose but not too loose. This is perfect. I wouldn't do any more. No more egg, no more breadcrumb, perfect. Because you want it to be just enough that you could,
It looks like you can make a meatball out of that, right?
yeah.
It's like making a snowball, right? You have to have the perfect packing smell.
packing smell.
And then we're gonna make them kind of small, not
Okay.
too big. So like, maybe like that. Is that big, or you wanna make them bigger? I think that's a good size.
I don't know if mine is bigger than yours.
That's good. I mean, not exact. You want them around the same size, so just grab like a handful, because and then make it tighter. Like roll it a little more, so it's really nice. Because you want it to, you don't want it to fall apart in the.
Yeah. Doesn't matter how
Some
many
people don't
you make.
like to make them small because they feel like it takes too long to fry them. It doesn't matter. When you're making the meatball, if you're getting all this breadcrumb and egg on your hands, you didn't mix it enough, or you didn't get it the right consistency, because it shouldn't. You should
Okay.
see
It should
nothing
come
on your
right off.
hands. Yeah.
That's kind of similar with the nut rolls with Queen.
Yeah.
Yep.
Whenever you're mixing it, if it's still coming off on your hand,
Yeah.
And I remember that video that she made. She said that. She was like, nope, it's still caught my hand. So I got
it's not
to mix
ready
it more.
yet.
And the meatballs, yeah, you want the same thing. You kind of want to make them around the same size so that they cook the same when you're putting them in the pan. And then you want to make it, I was telling Nicole, you want to make it nice and round and tight, like, cause not like a hamburger where you want it loose. You want this tight.
Yeah.
Because you don't want to blow it apart in the frying pan.
Yes, humanity. In such difficult times where so many people are going through things and suffering.
Now, some people roll them in breadcrumb
People
before you fry them.
want to know.
I don't do that,
Really
but it's a thought.
about not just themselves.
It's up to you.
So it'd be like a breaded meatball.
Yeah,
Right?
essentially.
I remember days where I see
Why don't we do a few of them that way?
No, I don't think we should.
Look at him.
I don't think we should.
I got a verdict.
Meatballs are made.
So you have your oil, and we actually didn't even get rid of the sausage residue in there.
That's all good
And
stuff.
basically, you're just gonna place them in. Nicole, you can help me if you want.
Jump in there. We can get on the other side.
Put it close. No.
Oh, sorry.
It's okay, because I don't know how much room we have.
Sorry.
We can move them around afterwards. I want to try to get them all in the one pan.
I think
We
you'll
made
be
them
good.
kind of little.
Like you said, it cooks faster, right?
Well, and I think it's nicer when you put them in the sauce for them to be little.
Yeah, because if they're so big, then they're so big.
Yeah.
Too big. And this is nice for sandwich size, too. Plus, when we make the lasagna, we're going to break them up anyway, so.
Isn't there a restaurant around here that does like a massive
Yeah,
meatball? Is that
Dino's.
Dino's?
You know, yeah. And basically, you want to let them cook on one side, and I'll tell you when you know when to flip them, because they'll like actually get brown on the side.
Oh, okay, so you can like see it like in the
Right,
on
so
the
you don't want to
bottom.
leave it on high. Now I have it on medium, see? Because if it's on high, they're going to burn before they cook.
Okay.
So basically, we're frying up, and we don't have to put a lot of oil, just enough for them to kind of see. You're not deep frying them.
Yeah.
Yeah, just enough for them to kind of. There we go.
All right.
Perfect.
At our
That's great that they
sauce.
all fit. That's great that they all fit.
Yeah.
So once the edges come to the point that it's almost cooked, then you can flip them.
Okay. Yeah, they're just looking tan right now, not brown, right?
Yeah, you'll flip them because you want it to get nice golden brown.
Cool. Cheese, please.
Just get out of here. Just go. It's water all over.
And
Soap all
cut.
over. Give me this. Give it. You're banned from the kitchen. Penny, take her.
What are you laughing at?
It's up here with like the soap bubbles coming out. Yeah. Like you're making a freaking mess.
Sure it's coming.
Look at they all fit perfectly. Good job, guys.
Thanks.
All right, I forgot to put seasoning in the sauce. So you throw a little salt,
Okay.
just a dash, and then a little pepper. And then I always throw a little bit of red, just a pinch.
Red pepper flakes.
If you make it a hot sauce, like a Diablo sauce, then you just put more red pepper flakes, but I just put a pinch. We already have garlic in here. I didn't put garlic powder, and I tend to do that too, so I might just throw a pinch of garlic powder in here too.
Okay.
And you can see it's like cooking already.
Yep.
So it's getting there. See that nice brown?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So you're gonna flip them now. Yeah, we don't put raw. I don't like doing raw meatballs in the sauce. We want to cook them
Yeah.
so they come nice. You know, oh,
Oh, look out.
sometimes it splashes because it's now it's the cold meat on that side. So
Yeah. Good. Look how golden brown.
yeah, that's how you want them.
Fantastic.
Just like that.
There you go.
Do you want me to sit on that side?
No, it's okay. Just come closer to the pot.
I can sit on that side.
Just come closer to the pot. That's perfect.
Cool. Looks good. So once these are in there, roughly
They're
how
gonna
long?
cook probably another.
Was my count right?
Oh no, I didn't count them. I would say maybe another hour.
Okay. That's not too bad.
Maybe an
You just
hour,
have to
maybe
kinda
2
eyeball-
hours, an hour and a half.
Yeah. When the sauce is thickened up, right? Essentially.
Yeah, I mean the longer it cooks, the better.
All right. How are we looking?
So the meatballs are now all in here, and that's what's gonna make this sauce delicious. So we're gonna cook it for a good hour. I mean, the longer you cook it, the better. So we'll see how we do or how hungry we are.
Yeah.
We can even let the sauce cook longer after we take the meatballs out, so that it's a better cooked sauce for
Use it for
tomorrow.
something later, yeah.
Yeah, to make lasagna or whatever. So that's basically it. That's gonna cook now.
Cool. We'll be
What I
back.
usually do is put the cover on an angle so that it cooks. There we go.
Cool.
And that's it.
All right. See you in a bit.
Thanks a little because we got some.
We have a new development. What are we up to?
We just line the pan with parchment paper because when we go to bake the sandwiches in the oven, we don't want them to stick to the pan, so I put parchment paper down. I kind of use this for everything because nothing sticks to it. You can bake it with cookies.
It just makes it easy, right? Easy cleanup too. You
Easy cleanup.
toss them out. Cool. We're talking to Pond Queen here too.
Yep.
Say hi, you guys.
Tell him you just go drive around the cemetery for a half hour or so.
Thanks. All right, let's check it out. How's it look?
We gotta stir it now. So let's say, ooh, beautiful. Look at those nice meat and all the little bits of meat.
Looks good.
It's coming good. But I think we're gonna take the meatballs out and make our sandwiches.
Yeah.
Cool. I'm ready.
And then the sauce itself, we're gonna let cook with that sausage a little bit longer.
Hey, what are we doing? What are we doing?
Cutting the breads, the little breads from Mancini's. And we're not gonna cut it all the way through. We're gonna make like a little well to put the meatballs in.
Nice. So we're gonna cook these first, or are we gonna fill
No,
them?
we're gonna
and
fill
cook
them up and cook them and heat them up all at once. So the bread doesn't get too, because you don't want the bread to get too crunchy.
Yeah.
So we'll just stick the meatballs in there and put the cheese on top.
Looks fantastic.
Gonna be good. Come on, above the handle. Perfect. That might take too long to do it like that.
You do it with the big spoon.
Hold on.
Please welcome the legendary Stevie Wonder.
You come closer. Good.
There we go.
Yeah.
Now we're cooking with sauce.
I see what you did there. Beautiful. So good.
So good.
Really punny.
Honey. See, 3 fits really well.
Alright, fine.
I
You
don't
don't want to
know.
overfill them, right? You don't want it to fall apart.
That's true. The longer it cooks, this stuff just gets softer and softer. So yeah, we'll just let it cook more.
So now it's cheese time, right?
Should we put this cheese first?
The Parmesan cheese.
Thank you so much, Doc.
Should we put the shredded first or the Romano?
Now to Jimmy Fallon.
I think this one.
I'm gonna do that one first.
Yeah, that's fine.
And then you could do the other one. We're doing triple cheese.
Can never have enough cheese.
Never
It's
have
the
enough cheese.
Best part.
That is the best part. Cheese.
Let me make sure this isn't poisoned.
Good.
Good stuff. All right, last but not least, the mozzarella. Oh,
I think we'll put one on each piece of
One
on
each meatball.
Do we have enough for each one?
I believe so.
Okay, give me a handful.
Feels like it.
Don't take too many more. You only need 3. Oh, it's stuck.
I know, it's hard to separate.
so into the oven we go.
So into the oven we go.
350 for how long? Couple minutes?
You know, we're just gonna keep an eye on it and watch when the cheese melts. Because that's all we really want to do is melt the cheese.
That's true.
So we'll put a timer of 5 minutes.
Go from there.
And we'll keep a light on.
Beautiful.
Come take a peek.
Yeah.
Cheese melted.
Very melty. Just enough.
Melty cheese.
Pickles, get in there. What do you see?
Melty cheese. It's good. Come on, I don't know if you want to like cool.
Good. It's time to dig in. Reactions, everybody. What do you think?
Looks delicious.
You're losing one.
I can hear that crunch.
Oh, the
Very
meatballs are
good.
soft though.
Wow, so good. You want it again?
The
I have
meatballs
to
are
dig in now.
delicious.
I'm ready. Here we go. Time to try it out. Check out that cheese.
The cheese is delicious.
Got some cheese balls.
Excellent. And the bread is just crispy enough.
Yeah, just
It's
crispy.
perfect.
Flavor of meatballs too.
Very good.